All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Fireside Casts. Not exactly Trial by Fireside, but not far off. As you know, we did like our lower div coverage, and this is kind of as low as it gets. We're looking at some brand new TF2. We are covering the TF2 Coaching Central, um, TF2 Coaching Central Newbie Cup. I should know what it's called off the top of my head because I was a coach for this. Yeah, I am joined, of course, by Arcadia. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing well. Just played some basketball, so I feel good. How about you?
Nice. I'm also doing pretty well.
Excellent.
I did not do too much today, unfortunately.
Hey, it's okay. It's a good day for some TF2. I'm happy
True.
to be here, happy to enjoy.
Absolutely. So today, okay, what was the other team name? It's T19 versus, let me pull this up real quick. Infection, okay. It got a little cut off in the red thing, so I couldn't tell exactly. Um, quite nicely here, so it's gonna be really easy to run down their roster. It looks like we have Stell and Lychee on scouts. Raven, not to be confused with the invite player Raven, is on Soldier alongside Star underscore. Um, we have Sauce Bow. I'm assuming that's how it's pronounced on demo, and then Luna is the medic. So far on Infection, we have Infected Spamdwitch, Real Gamer Time, Sourbit, Sloop, and Ross. Um, so far, waiting for their medic to join. We will see. Oh, and they are asking in chat for a sub, so we might be looking at some sub ringer action potentially here. Star underscore, not to be confused with star underscore. Yeah, I know. I only said it aloud where I was like, wait a minute.
Just 1 second. Oh, I like this. Blue's already
Oh yeah.
aliased up.
Oh my god, so their normal roster, one of their scouts has Badussy Balls. Unfortunately, I don't think making an appearance tonight. Okay, actually, yeah, and Mela is also. So it's either them playing here with different aliases in game, or they are ringers, which is not super uncommon. One thing I have noticed about lower div TF2 is there's a lot of ringers pretty frequently. You don't have like the full committed needs quite yet, like you
Yeah.
do in the higher divs. So usually stuff gets put together.
Yeah, I think by the time you get to like IM and main, enough people are like functioning adults who have schedules, but
Hmm.
definitely in high school I would, have to go to whatever. Like, I gotta stay late after school to do newspaper or whatever.
Yeah, true. Um, and also, especially for like a cup like this, where it's not as committal as a full season
Mhm.
is by design, I think, just to give newer players a taste
Yeah.
without that huge commitment. I wouldn't say huge necessarily, but you get the idea. Um, so yeah, just with that, again, you just have some less committed people necessarily as a result. But we are starting off here on CP process, I believe, which is kind of the go-to like new map. This is kind of the just the most boiled down, straightforward 5CP map, and is kind of the de facto new player map, what most new people get taught about. So, what can you tell the people about process?
What can I tell the people? So, the mid is pretty interesting, complicated. It's what's known as a rotational mid in the business. But there's, a lot of high grounds on the mid, and teams often end up going around the outside rather than going through the middle because of the high grounds. So, it's going to be interesting to see. It's always interesting to see new teams' mastery of the midpoint in general. So, process, despite, as you said, being a bit straightforward as a map, the mid is complicated and there's a lot of nuance to how to win the fight. So that's always
True.
interesting to see to me.
Yeah, and something else about the mid is it's kind of played in two different ways. Whether so it seems like in the higher divs, there's less rotation going on
Mm-hmm.
and more committing across the point. But you definitely have some mids where teams will posture to one side or the other and focus most of their resources over there.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas sometimes in uh, newer TF2, since it is again just easier to tell people like to rotate, look for players that are caught out and isolated, and focus those picks, yada yada. Um, it plays a lot closer to you might expect like a sunshine mid to play even where teams will rotate fully to the other team's side and just
Mm-hmm.
kind of continue the toilet bowl swirl as it were. Um, so yeah, process mid actually probably a highlight of the map to me at least. Um, I don't know. Outside of that, I mean, it's a very flowy map. Just not necessarily play wise, but geometry wise. So very easy traversal for sure. A lot of ramp slides through chokes and things of that nature. So easy for soldiers to have very fast rollouts. Um,
Yeah.
easy for demo as well. If you know your stuff, you can hit some fast rollouts for sure.
And I think besides the PL upward fast rollout on Soldier, I think the most famous rollout is the process Soldier fast bomb.
Yeah, and that's stuff that even players who had never played competitive before will just have seen it here and there, and even like playing some Uncle Topias, you'll see soldiers
Oh
hitting
yeah.
that, going for the big J spoon to put in their frag video.
Of course. Yeah, I think,
Absolutely.
and of course, last night we were casting Anthony, who,
Hmm.
if the newbies haven't seen, but I suspect many have, uh, process is especially good for the Master of the Beggars bazooka.
True. Yeah, definitely a strong map for the beggars. One thing actually, interestingly, is the soldier on my team has taken a liking to the beggars as well. Has been using that a bit. Which of course is something that I can offer like absolutely zero advice on because I have no idea how to use that thing. Um, but there's definitely a lot of depth to it. Yeah, Anthony is definitely. I think a lot of his YouTube videos have reached a pretty wide audience. There's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of casual players in particular that really love watching what he can do with it because it is very visually impressive for sure.
definitely. Yeah, I've honestly been, because throughout our trial by fireside, we saw, gosh, what was his name? With the Z. Who's a good jumper? Who won? Newcomer.
Zagerfeek.
Yeah. We've seen like many strong jumpers who like never played comp throughout a lot of newcomers. So I guess they're no strangers to jumping anymore.
Yeah, true. Um, and I think I don't know. The meta in general of TF2 has evolved so
Oh yeah.
much over the years where, it's actually quite fun watching some like really ancient TF2.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, Vani, is an EU medic who's been playing since the dawn of time, and he's pulled up some random um, just videos on YouTube. And you'll see, obviously, on Badlands, and a team will take a dry fight in, just completely bust through the choke, no regard whatsoever.
Of course.
And they're about to lose their pocket soldier, who of course was on shotgun and just waddling around with the medic. And instead of just dropping the pocket soldier and having Uber add, they instead use on him just to save his life and then risk like dishead or something. It's some crazy stuff. Like the second the other team pops, you just pop
Yeah.
without any regard for like, wait a minute. Well, maybe if we don't, we can get some type of advantage here. Like, no, none of that. Um, but yeah, modern TF2 is way more fast paced.
Yeah.
Um, and even at those lower levels, that still definitely gets reflected.
Yeah. I think, back in those times, nobody even had like 3,000 hours. Now every soldier does. So
Mhm.
it's such a big difference when everyone knows how to jump now. Because
Yeah,
I
true.
think I think that is one of the defining, changes. Because obviously scouts have got, better movement and aim, of course, but I think just developing the rocket jump mechanic as a whole is like the one factor that has made TF2 develop so interestingly because it changes the dynamic.
Hmm. Yeah. Speaking of soldiers as well, in lower divisions, soldiers seem to overperform relative to the higher div counterparts. In part, just because, like, I think on some level, just stock rockets are a very straightforward and effective weapon. So while they are like it's an extremely deep weapon as well, there's probably a lower skill floor, I'd say, relative to Scout as a class or using stickies effectively.
Yeah,
Whereas on the same part of that is uh, the kind of main counter to soldier being, disciplined scouts standing on high
yeah,
ground shooting at you. Um, isn't as present necessarily. So there's going to be a lot of scouts on the floor just running at you, feeding you picks.
hmm
So a soldier with pretty decent DM in a lower division will do very well relative to a high div soldier that has to play against some of the best scouts in the game.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, the meta is almost entirely different. I'd say just because of how skilled people are at reading fights and knowing when to commit. Yeah, knowing the collapse and just common ideas, I guess. But that's all, super high level. Let's should we go over the rest of the map, you think?
We talked about the mid. I think, I mean, we could talk briefly. So actually, DJ Panda, it seems, is joining red on Medic here. Second, if I had to describe second in one word, well, I'll make that two words. It would be high ground,
Mm-hmm.
where um, the high ground not only of the platform or side spire next to the point relative to the grassy area, but also the high ground of the point itself is just really advantageous positioning to have
Yeah,
and good positioning to hold on. Um, in TF2, TF2 is all about space and positioning at its core. What team controls what space, what advantages teams can convert into space or points. Um, and high ground is a huge component of that. And I think process 2 is just a really nice boiled down version to illustrate that.
yeah, yeah. And I think without Badlands in the pool, it's one of the last remaining Spire type seconds.
Um, yeah, kind of. I mean, all I'm trying to think. It's hard to compete with Badlands Spire because it's the Spire.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sunshine. There's some like high ground on the platform, but it's not like an actual point sticking out in a Spire. I'm trying to think what other maps even. Yeah, nothing else to the same degree for sure. We are readying up here, so both teams will be rolling out playing this first mid. Um, we can point out as well for any of the new players these teams hopefully have practiced learning the rollout specifically. There is a kind of meta order to who the medic should heal and when in order for everyone to show up healthy and early. Because being early and healthy on a mid just gives your team a massive advantage. Early on, though, a lot of aggression here from real gamer time does actually goes down for it, though. We'll trade out the pick, both soldiers down. Ooh, blue demo. Quite aggressive here. Kind of isolated on the right side. We'll get chased down by red. Ooh, Luna going quite low as well. Will die, actually. Some nice stickies there from Sloop. With that, getting that med pick. Down a lot
Yep.
of... Ooh, they actually lost their own medic in the meantime. I did not see that. Blue's demo trying to get in pretty aggressively there. But was alone and just goes down in choke. So now both medics died, so no Uber ad or disad for either team, assuming they both meet up with a scout and get building, get healing. But off that demo pick, there's definitely some opportunity for red to do something. Looks like they're just going to be regrouping on the second point here.
Yeah, looks like both teams content to kind of sit far away for now, but looks like no, maybe they're looking on red to go into sewer, but they were just standing over there like they were gonna go. Here comes Raven out of Al Qaeda, as it's known. Yeah, here
We'll
comes the
just be
sack.
bombing in for a sack. But at this point, yeah, DJ Panda was quite passive behind point, totally safe from that sack. Now with that pick, definitely an opportunity for Red to get some aggression, maybe spam a little bit in anticipation of a counter sack. Looks like Real Gamer Time went for it, but there was a whole carpet and choke, and they will go down. At this point, Raven quite close to be spawning here. Now, shoes on the other foot, pick for blue to work with, pressure if they'd like, and send their own sack. See what kind of plan they have. At this point, both teams do have Uber. So we'll see what T19 opt to do here. Ooh, Stell actually eating some decent damage there in the choke point. Everyone in blue just getting buffed up here in front of choke. Looks like it might be star underscore going for it. They're getting a big buff here, 300. Let's see.
Just like they got the 6-man through choke. There's a trap on the left side.
There is
no
a
one's
trap.
clear.
Okay, it does
He
get dead on nothing. Oh, and DJ Panda, star underscore actually gets the nice bomb and drop onto the medic. At this point, yeah, Red's kind of routed.
Oh,
nice
but they
force, yeah.
yes.
Ross does get it on the med and gets a force, but that's a scout stuck behind. Down 3 as well for Red. All they have to do is cap this point and push last here. Raven's already in last, getting decent damage and some decent cap time, actually. Will go down for it. At this point, Blue's demo is in, but oh, Sauce goes down. Yeah, the rest of Blue were just a little slow to get in. At this point, Red has some spawners to fight. And yeah, very disconnected push from them, unfortunately. Unable to secure that point with all those picks, just because they all got in at different times.
Yeah, indeed. So Blue does have a little bit of ad, and it looks like they're building pretty well, but I would honestly not suspect...
Ooh, soldier pick coming out here. Spam witch going down.
Maybe with that pick they'll try to push once they get healthy. I think it's entirely possible. They've built this out to 35 or so, so maybe.
Yeah, definitely playable ad. Just a matter of keeping track of that. Ross is constructing that sentry
yeah, it looks
gun.
like they're gonna go lobby.
Ooh,
They lose one.
Down. Okay, they trade out the pick. They are through 3. Ooh, Scout gets dropped in the Uber though. Okay,
DJ
gun does
Panda
go
75.
down.
Not looking like they're gonna get anytime
Yeah,
soon.
they're losing their players. Oh, and Ross with the crits cleans up Saucebow as well. Luna does go down, and it's looking like a failed last push here from T19. And throughout all that as well, DJ Panda did survive. 90% Uber charge on them.
Yeah, so a common thing here is to play sniper inside this forwards, but looks like nobody on blue team is gonna decide to do that.
So it is full ad for Red, and Blue's actually positioned quite aggressively here. If Infection decides to just take in an Uber here, then Blue would be completely caught to it just based on their positioning. It looks like they have their... Oh! Raven was in, just gets a drop on DJ Panda.
Insane.
I was looking through IT, I'm looking at, oh, demos in IT, maybe they're pushing IT, and then through the doorway I just see a big crunch, and there goes DJ Panda. Ross dying as well, down 2 now for Red. So no Uber quite yet on Luna, but just by virtue of the fact that Blue has heals and Red does not, means this is a very pushable point. Sourbit is going behind for some type of flank. It's not getting watched. Ooh, okay, the flank is here now. It is being watched. Blue has the Uber. Shouldn't be anything holding them back here. It's just a matter of getting through cleanly. Looks like they bombed their demo in just to get some space here. Sourbit kind of isolated on the point. Ooh, bomb in from Real Gamer Time. Pop comes out. They're getting 1 pick so far, but that might be all. Sourbit is out clean. And, ooh, they actually push 2 with it.
Ooh.
They lose their medic and a scout and the demo. Kind of overzealous there. Uber was already over, and they just wanted to see what more they could get. Stell, last one alive, just trying to get a soldier pick. Gets the soldier pick. Ross actually a little low. Okay, does hit the shots, but that could have gone a little scary for Red. Also, Ross is on a 3K on the Babyface's blaster, I must note here.
I like it. I mean, the medic, I think it's the Babyface speed boost, right? Even with the stock, yeah. So the weapon is a little bit underutilized. I was gonna
you can make
say
some crazy stuff happen. Go ahead.
before, when Blue tries to take that Uber, so for the newer viewers, you really don't want to exchange the Uber for less than 2 players. If you get more than 2 players for the Uber, then it's usually worth it.
Yeah, just as a rule of thumb, especially like if you can get the med, then it's usually just worth it straight up.
Yeah.
And demo is definitely more valuable than just your typical class. Ooh, looking at a
Comes
flank shove
Raven,
here
but
from red.
there's no one.
Oh my god,
No
the
one's
whole
home.
combo's behind. It's a complete wrap through the
Oh,
flank.
yeah.
And at this point, Blue's just pinched in the choke. Spamwish could bomb from in front. He had a nice pinch going, but at this point, it's even numbers, but Red's down a demo. Ooh,
Red
and
is just
Sourbit
capping
dies
on
as
the
well.
floor.
Yeah, they are just capping. It is an objective-based game. If they can secure this cap, that would
It's
be
evened
wild.
out.
Okay, they do have Uber. They do use the Uber, and they get the cap. They lose a bunch for it, but all these spawners are getting forward spawns. No counterpop from Blue, though, so Red has to be very careful, because if they're positioned too aggressively, then they would just be caught to an Uber should T19 choose to take one. Well, they're being quite cautious here. Bombing a soldier through now, who is landing it on the med, and they're so caught. Uber gets popped. They lose their soldier in it, though. Okay.
It's a saw in the Uber.
The saw, yeah, extends that Uber. You love to see it. Oh, but Saucebow might be going down here. Actually is able to survive with their team, and yeah, the med dying very late as well. That was back cap going on. Will get cleaned up.
Not gonna work
here.
out. Still lives on 2.
Yeah, let that just be a perfect example of when the other team's too close and you have that Uber, just use it, and we saw a full wipe there. Ross actually stuck in, will go down as well. Will not be able to defend last should Blue decide to make something happen quickly here. They don't have an Uber to push with, but they have a pick, so they can at least pressure a little bit, see what's going on, and potentially send a sack. Or, well, not send a sack, it's add. Or make something happen, but no, they will just be building out this Uber, it appears. And
Sentry gun going
take
up
this added.
on the right side for Red, so a bit of an unorthodox position, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, traditionally the sentry on a disadd last hold is in the left spawn with the combo top right. But the combos, they actually kind of just switch spots, so I don't think it ultimately matters that much. Uber does get taken in. Down 3 for Blue, actually. They get 2 picks to work with, but that's all. And Ross has been just putting it, ooh, the cleanup.
Yeah,
wow,
Stell
had some
up.
great cleanup there. I was about to say, that Ross has been putting in some work with that Frontier Justice.
So first round in the books, 10 minutes in. Yeah, I guess let's see how this mid goes. I don't remember who won the last mid. I think it was Blue, a bit strongly.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I think they got a couple of picks and then caught the mid out. So let's see if they can repeat their success.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a lot of early damage.
Yeah, they tried to take height early, T19 did, but they ate some soldier rockets and nearly died for it. Raven, quite low here, will be the first to fall on mid. Star trying to run away. Saucebow going down as well. So down 2 spam classes, it's going to be very difficult to hold these doors, especially since Luna does not have Uber yet, but was building a lot better. So if T19 gets pushed into a corner here and is forced to use Uber, it might accidentally be an ad push.
Here comes Red.
Oh yeah. Real-time gaming bombs in. Or real gamer time bombs and gets that force. They're gonna lose both soldiers for it, so definitely some consolation. Ooh. DJ Panda on 1 HP finally pops, but this Uber just does not have space.
Yeah.
I don't know if Panda just got that Uber by the time
They
used.
had time. They could have used it in, but they are a bit hesitant there.
Yeah, especially because again, with the team, ooh, Raven trying to sack in, will go down against a team that close. Definitely taking Ubers in can be very advantageous. Looks like Blue's just trying to dry through choke here, eating some spam. Only now is Sloop showing up, locking that down.
I like that alias. Sloop.
Sloop is a nice alias. Rolls off the tongue.
So we haven't commented on the mushroom theme of T19. I really appreciate this. Except
I like team spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, Blue has this Uber and they just take it through. They're trying to build check. They are getting a demo for it. Red just bunkered in the opponent's team.
They're gonna counter.
Yeah,
But
they
it's
bunkered in the
anyone's
opponent's
fight
IT
here.
to get Uber, and it's looking...
They're just
It's
gonna get the
hard to tell
backup.
what's
Ross
going
is
on.
just gonna win
Yeah,
this
they are back camping.
round, actually. If he goes last right now, he could win, but he's gonna take out Sospo instead.
It's the free demo pick. Yeah, there will be spawners on last now. That was a crazy fight. I've never seen
Yeah.
a team kite into the other team's IT to get Uber off of a build check and then have it work out. So no demo on last for the next 3 seconds. Looks like
They've got the Putis on stock. So.
yeah, stock. That's not stock. That's the Iron Curtain, baby.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
Looks
there
like they were
any
trying to
stat
make
differences?
something happen. Absolutely not. But there's Chad differences. We do have a sniper on Raven. Sentry gun be constructed. Heavy on last. Yeah, they are definitely holding this last point down. And it's not a ton of ad for DJ Panda either. You know, they are building actually. Blue is not building. If Blue is building, it'd only be like 15 ad. But this is now approaching like 40 ad. Unfortunately for T19.
Ooh, nice
but
shot by Raven.
fortunately for them, yeah, Raven cleans up Ross early on. And that's gonna
They're totally caught if they
disincentivize a
just
push.
use, but they.
Yeah, absolutely. So close to the doorway. But no, they are waiting around. It looks like they're unsure of what to do because they are positioned in such a manner that you know, you only want to be in lobby if you're trying to do something aggressive.
Yeah, I think the sack is coming, but now the
Oh my god, 146 body
grace of
shot.
God.
Oh. Man, if Raven had charged that shot for another half a second, and that's a drop, but no, DJ Panda surviving with 6 HP.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, and Raven's putting in some work right now, just peeking these angles. There's a lot of doors just not being watched. That,
Yeah, 1 and
the
2 are
snipers
wide
able to
open. Blue pushes at all.
We will see.
Here comes the Raven sniper through 2, unspotted.
And
Oh,
also
now-
let
now,
let that serve as an example of why you don't want to just be sitting in lobby forever. Because you know, when you have all your players, then yeah, it's total. It should be easy to take and difficult for Blue to defend. But once you lose that pick, you're kind of in a vulnerable position and can get poked and prodded at from doors or flanks. And you might want to back up to point instead. Just wait for that spawner.
So Raven, they're gonna use
Uber
him.
does get popped, yeah.
Raven lives
Very
miraculously.
late counter pop. They do get the gun and a soldier, but they lose 3 for it.
Sarbit
With
in
the
heaven,
heavy on-
right?
Oh yeah, Sarbit's trying to get this demo. But at this point is now just stuck behind in the other team's heaven, and Blue knows it.
Yeah.
Tries to make something happen, but will be the 4th to die on last.
I can
Very solid
respect
hold
it.
there.
Yeah, it's gonna be even at least.
Ooh.
So
Nice air pipe from Sloot, but
shouldn't speak to.
them and DJ Panda were positioned so aggressively for being the only 2 alive that things got hairy there, although Raven will get cleaned up by a real gamer time bomb. And is surviving actually, so they have a pick to work with. Retaking 2 here. Ubers are going to be roughly even, although this time Blue's the one that... are they building? They were incidentally building, but no Boston Basher action. Ross going down to a trap in 1, losing a pick there. Only 30 seconds left, so if this round timer hits 0, then we're going to be looking at another mid, which is not what Infection want at all, because they not only have the mid, but they have second as well. So having to refight for another 2 points that they already own is not what they want. Uber gets popped, much better Uber from Blue. Gun is getting tanked as well, survives for the longest amount of time. Lychee is just here on Putis, ready to do so much.
It's anyone's
but
fight.
the Putis-
but no cap time.
wow.
Oh my.
That was going poorly all of a sudden for T19. The Putis unrevved and was getting collapsed on. But yeah, without any cap time, no overtime secured, and you just go into a new round. So that was looking it should have been terrible for Infection, just because you're backed into a corner with that time. But man, they almost turned that around just as the timer ran out. We are looking at a new mid here, however. Let's see, it looks like Red opting to play their right side, actually getting a pick onto Raven early again. Spambush just walking forward, gets a decent rocket onto Luna, but that will be all. Now both teams down a soldier. Real Gamer Time just trying to take some height here, play that high ground, and gets rewarded immediately with a pick. Ross actually cleaning up someone on the Babyface's blaster, and with that, down 3 players, T19 opt to just leave the mid, survive with the remaining players, and somehow they have been building so much better. It's now 20 ad for them.
Yeah.
Not something I think they're aware of.
Yeah, if only they knew. But we have another second stalemate, looks like, so... Yeah, I'd like to see... Hopefully there's some mix-up. Maybe they try to go IT or sewer instead. No, they're just gonna run, exchange their choke. If
Lychee might go down. Oh my god, Luna drops!
Nice stickies from DJ, or from Sloop.
And it's just gonna... Okay, DJ Panda does die.
But I think the round might just be over.
Yeah,
Look
honestly.
at this baby face. He's
so
moving.
Ross just needs to cap this point. Luna's the only spawner on this spawn wave. And yeah, medic.
Yeah.
I mean, there is no single player that can stop that, let alone a medic.
They were...
And, wow.
They were furious that they lost the last rounds. They started trying for this round.
Yeah, for real. That was crazy. Alright, well, just like that. Back to mid yet again. Let's see if Infection can kind of reproduce what happened last time around. So it looks like both demos showing up about the same time. Saucepow a little bit weaker, but will grab the pack.
Great
and actually,
spam from Blue.
Yeah. Both soldiers just on heist, spamming down into choke. The health on red is just awful as a result. And Spamwich does trade out with Raven early on, although Real Gamer Time does die
gonna
as
go
well.
down at choke. They have an opportunity to get back in here if... Yeah, Sloop catches a bow. This is actually just an even fight now. If
yeah, soldier for soldier demo. Totally is something you can refight off of here.
Yeah, but they're not going to stop in time, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll get the forward spawns. And actually, okay, Infection just opts to leave here. Oh, crits gets popped out. It was a crits to mid. It's just a matter of whether it can get the med, and it won't be able to. So now full ad for DJ Panda. Ross going down as well. Yeah, of course, generally the crits meta, I suppose, is when things should be roughly even. Okay, Uber does get pawned here onto Sourbit. Just a matter of can they catch anyone. It does not look like it. Ooh, Star underscores behind in choke. Oh, but DJ Panda overcommitting in the choke point dies in the post Uber, and this is catastrophic for Infection. Losing pretty much everyone except, well, the scout is a spawner, so all 5 players that were fighting have since died. Saucepow's gonna crater. Yeah, that was an ambitious bomb, to say the least.
That's gonna delay their push enough to get maybe a sentry set up in time.
Yeah,
looks like they're gonna go regardless.
Okay,
they're gonna pop through 3 without the... Oh, it's crits,
it is still crits, yeah.
They get the gun, get one.
Oh my god, they get a pick. Oh my god, the crit rocket gets 2. Raven's able to fire 1 more. Oh my god, with that, it's just now, Sloop and Spamwich on last.
Yeah, they've got to get these last 2, and they get it.
Against scouts. Wow. So yeah, during this roulette, I can talk quickly about Chris Creed, why you might use it. So it does build a charge faster than the Uber by 25%. So if both medics are approximately the same percent, like for instance on a mid fight, or if you both die at the same time, then you can use it as a surprise option to play that ad and hopefully kill the other team's medic. But if it doesn't work, then you might just be stuck on an inferior option when it comes to Uber charges.
Yeah, especially on defense. Crit's not so good at defending.
So Blue took some early positioning on height this mid, but the bombs from Red Soldiers just got so much damage on them.
Ross cut out on the left.
Yeah, Ross does die, but the health on Blue is just so terrible here. I would not be surprised if Red still wins this fight. Yeah, immediately Star underscore going down. Raven soon to follow. And Lychee as well actually dies to an arrow from DJ Panda, so the med fragging out. Saucepow does die as well, so it's just these 2 players on 2. Depending on how aggressively Red pushes in here, okay, they are already out. But if they were quite fast there, then there's maybe a scary possibility of Luna and Stell being caught there.
Yeah, but they're gonna get the Highlander set up now. And... Oh, with the drop instantly, so...
Oh, wow.
And now Blue's got the impossible challenge to get off of the Highlander and figure out how to push out.
Mm-hmm. So we will see. So I'd like to raise attention to the fact that pretty much every aggressive Uber that was taken has resulted in the other team wiping. Probably something to extrapolate out of positioning and the efficacy of aggressive Ubers.
Comes
Ooh, Raven peeking. Oh, and the counter drop. And we're seeing a wipe here from Blue. It's just up to Lychee on the point. The poor Putis, man. That's so sad to see. Yeah, I mean, honestly, so in higher divisions, like, teams will really want to take points without using Uber if they can, just because oftentimes you can turn ad into even more. But in lower divisions, where that might require a level of coordination that you just haven't built up yet, taking that proactive Uber and just using it and then seeing what you can get done with it is oftentimes the very best strategy.
Indeed.
So we'll see if that continues to be a trend here. Saucepow quite aggressively here, crossing into the other team's crate. Might die immediately for it, but no, baits out a Soldier Bomb from Real Gamer Time, who does get punished for it. And Sloop dying shortly thereafter. This mid's looking over for red. Star underscore is extremely weak on the height, but it's not going to matter at this point. Infection completely out. Ross is lurking around in their sewer. Man, this babyface is... When they don't have that charge, it's so strange to look at them running around.
It's like a spy.
It's for real.
But honestly, he's been quite effective with it. Once he's moving around, it's honestly very difficult to like take a DM fight against that guy.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of weapons, like I don't know if soldiers were, if they liked direct hit or Liberty Launcher or something, for instance. There's a lot of options that I think are just worse in a competitive context. But as long as they're like kind of the same type of gun, like a Babyface's is still a scatter gun.
Yeah.
Then especially for like absolute beginners, it makes sense to just be using something you're more comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then only when like you're trying to really improve, do you try and learn how to use the...
Here comes the double bomb. Oh, gets the force.
Gets the force. Okay, both soldiers for a force is something they can be somewhat comfortable with here. Definitely gives them a window to pressure pretty hard. We do see Ross getting quite aggressive in the flank.
And gets the force.
Yeah, counterpop. Ooh, and they lose Lychee in the choke point as well.
And he
Saucepow bombing in.
Blasted in is...
Oh my god, DJ Panda is just threading the needle of these stickies.
Here comes the flank.
Oh yeah. Real Gamer Time is in. And there's 3 red players on mid. Blue's combo is just completely sandwiched.
But it's going to be a reverse sandwich for the mid flanker.
Oh my god, Luna's taking a 1v1 right now with Real Gamer Time and like kind of winning. Okay, does go down with the health of Spammed Witch.
Utter chaos.
So at this point, losing Blue's medic there, just a matter of keeping DJ Panda alive. And actually, they did a great job of just bunkering up in IT as well. Perfectly safe. Now no heals for Blue. Should be pretty easy for Infection to push in here. Just a matter of healing their guys up. Spam Witch in a little early though, before Sourbit gets healed up. And as a result, will get focused down and die there. And looking like about 60 ad for Infection here.
Yeah, despite the set, Ross and Lychee are going to go at it in IT. And Ross is going to go down. So, again, stalling their push may not be a wise decision for them.
Red, just some basic stuff like our medic lived, their medic died in that fight, so we should have ad here. You know, just remembering, okay, did their med die there? He did. Okay, our medic lived. It's ad, let's just take it in or something. Luna would just be caught to this Uber, and then it would have been ad yet again into last and potentially turned into a rout. But because they forgot about that, this, what was 60 ad has now
Raven's in, unspotted.
Oh yeah.
Gets the drop!
Oh no. And what was 60 ad turned into 100 disad, unfortunately. They lose both soldiers for it, counterpop comes in, Real Gamer Time getting that force. And actually, okay, oh, the flank shove. Oh my god, the star underscore is showing up in a big way. Okay, does not kill Ross, and this times 4 on the back cap. Ross is already going to last.
I don't think
there
you can
are
get
spawners.
It. Yeah.
Yeah, these spawners.
He is so fast with the baby face.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No! Oh no! But Sourbit's unable to have the point out.
Dance is so good.
So there was actually in the TF2
Oh,
CC.
wait. Here comes the spam
Oh,
witch.
Spamwich. Oh, there's just people stacked on the point.
No.
Yeah. In the TF2 CC, there's like questions that people can ask, like a forum thing. And one person was arguing for the efficacy of the baby faces, saying that like off of a mid, you can just run to their last or something. Which, to be clear, like none of that makes any sense. I think it stems largely from someone who's like very unfamiliar and just not a lot of experience in the game, which is fine. Like ask your questions, but then we see something like that where the speed of the baby faces actually ends up making a bit of a difference. It's very funny to see.
Yeah. By funny, it means, yeah, these high div players have no idea what they're talking about.
Absolutely, yeah, they're just lost. Just dry everything. You don't have to use an exchanges safe player. None of that matters. Use whatever. Okay, but don't use demo shields or I'll get mad at you.
Raven is just absolutely dominant on the sniper here so far. Peeking lobby is just... DJ Panda, they just love to like stand down here and beat this guy. They're testing it.
Oh my god, you're just crouched in this corner. This is
Here
great.
it
They are
comes.
stuck. They're contesting. Oh, hit him with the rap assassin.
Now they take lobby. They're gonna
Ooh, they're
lose
taking
their
one
four.
in.
I actually respect
Kill that
this.
soldier. Kill that soldier. Oh, nice. Get the gun next.
They lose
The gun
Ross
needs to go down here. Oh, and the
and the
gun's killing
counter pop.
everyone.
Oh no.
Okay, gun does go down. Whose gun was it? Stel? Do you think Stel's on Frontier Justice?
No, looks like stock. And they're 4 HP.
That
in lobby.
NG's 4 HP in lot. Good lord, man. What were you doing?
Frontier
DJ Panda-
Justice, but no no crits.
Yeah, for real. Oh, the
Here comes the
Pyro's
pyro.
committed. Quick little reflect here. Oh, there was definitely a reflect opportunity there. Okay, so DJ Panda did die in that fight, so it is slight ad here for Luna. Although, one thing I've noticed about T19 is they have typically not really been building Uber, even on their own last. And building Uber in those stalemates, or just whenever you can, is just like a cheat code to get ad for free, pretty much.
Yeah,
You see
definitely.
a lot of aggression here from Red. They're just peeking these doorways. They
I mean,
spam
they're
down the
doing
gun.
tons of damage, actually. Sarba is in so deep, and
Ooh,
Lychee's
Lychee's
taking
getting
tons of
focused down.
damage.
Is forced to back up a little bit here, get healed. Definitely
Just
want to arrow
stick these
tank this
everywhere.
heavy. That beam is only going
Oh.
to do so much. Ooh, but the
Raven
was
gets
that a,
DJ
okay,
Panda.
Raven snipes the medic, but the level 1 gun got 2 kills.
But no Frontier Justice to capitalize, so...
Yeah, I hate to see it.
Well,
All those-
43 seconds, it's 2-2.
Yeah. So this is where T19 wonders, like, do we want to push out or not? Because if you take the round reset, like, yeah, you just get to fight for mid. But there's a chance if you're fast pushing out of second, then you might be able to take mid as well, kind of uncontested.
Yeah,
it might be
the
worth
game
it.
clock is 20 seconds.
Oh, for the half. And we
Yeah.
are not
It's
in
it's a
banning config?
tie, I
This is-
believe, yeah.
Okay.
So it
we
looks
may be
like...
looking at a tie game.
Yeah. Yeah, Red not... I think they're gonna try with... Well, no, they're not. They're not gonna go.
I mean, if
Alright.
if it is gonna be a timer thing, then yeah, they kind of
That's
have
it.
to. Okay. So for those unfamiliar, excuse me, we can talk about the format real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So this is first to 5 rounds. We'll just win once it hits 5. Barring that, there's a server timer of 30 minutes where when that runs out, the game just ends. Traditionally, this was played as a 2-half system where you would play one 30-minute half, have a halftime, and then finish off the second 30-minute half, which again, in a match of 2 halves, it's still first to 5. So if you get 5 in that first, well, I don't want to get too in the nitty gritty, basically, but you can time out your opponent is the ultimate thing to keep in mind. There is a new config that we've been using, but is a little more complicated, I'll say. So I can understand them not using it for this cup in particular, where when that time hits 0, instead of the game ending, the win limit that was 5 gets decreased to be 1 more than whatever the leading team is. So in this case, since both teams have 2 rounds, it would become a 3-round win limit. basically when that timer ends, whatever team has the lead still has to finish out another round to win, and that also gives the team that's down rounds the opportunity to have a comeback potentially, which has been generally well received, I think. But yeah, just for some
Yeah,
explanation on what you're seeing and why.
yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't have anything more to say about that. But do we have some locks to look at?
I
It
bet
looks
we
like it
do.
is going to end in a tie.
Yeah. Let's see. This log's probably from my team. I think maybe I have no idea. Let's look here. So many process logs. It's almost like everyone's playing. Okay, Infect versus T19 here. I do have some logs. Um, what stands out to me here? I'm looking at a big. Okay, so Raven and Sloop were doing a lot. It looks like in the damage department. Um,
Hmm.
that was quite nice.
Raven channeling their invite counterpart.
Yeah, absolutely. Who knew? Maybe it's just in the name. Any
Hmm.
up and coming soldiers, just name yourself Raven. I'm sure it won't get confusing.
Nevermore.
What else?
Honestly, just a quiet game. Otherwise, pretty close. I like to see a close game, back and forth.
Yeah, true. Um, that was that. I I'm always a little unsatisfied with a tie, but I understand that you want to get things going and push things forward for sure. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do we know what game we're covering next? Um, I have no idea. Hopefully, it's going to be equally interesting. And actually, I'm also curious about what maps they have in the cup because I know process. I think clear cut's one of them as
It's
well.
process, clear cut, gully wash, and snake water.
Okay, all the hits.
Yeah, I did. I don't know if you saw, but I did a ton of map reviews for everyone.
I did see that. That was very generous of you, granting your knowledge upon all
Oh,
the players.
I'm like I'm the leftover coach. I coach the free agents.
um, yeah, I think general things to notice from that game. So obviously, over the course of like a few weeks, it's very difficult to really get a grasp of all the intricacies of sixes. There is a lot going on, which isn't to say it's. I don't want to make this sound unapproachable because I'm sure like it's still fun, even if you're like losing track of Ubers and even
Mhm.
if all this. But it definitely takes some time of just being in the server, playing those games and thinking about those things to really like internalize all that. Because yeah, there were times that teams were definitely caught to Ubers that could have just been used and gotten great value. Um, that's like I always look at the combo. There was like a lot of flank
Yeah.
stuff happening as well, of just a lot of great flank shoves actually from Infection. They've got a lot of value by getting aggressive on the flank. But I always just I'm a combo player, so I pay attention to what's going on in the combo, and the Ubers were just the big thing that stuck out to me.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't have much insight to really share. Obviously, it's just a lot about understanding. I don't know. There's so many different levels of how to understand the game because it's like, you have the classes, you have the maps, you have the uh what was I gonna say? Uh, Between the classes and the maps, like you've got so many just small bits of strategy that take a lot of hours to
Yeah.
master. But obviously, the basics are not too insanely complicated or anything.
That's I don't know. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Just because like I've had so many just absolutely esoteric, niche, pointless discussions with people about stuff. Just theory crafting and talking about the game just because there is
Hmm.
so much to it.
Yeah.
I think a perfect example is the Scottish Resistance, actually, where this is an unlock that for probably 95, I'll say even like 98% of the time as a demo will just be pretty much strictly worse than just using stock. But in very specific niche situations, it can actually be more useful. But to know which is which requires like a knowledge of demo as a class, what demo's role
Hmm.
is on, well, what Ubers are, what disad Ubers mean, what a disad last hold looks like, what demo's responsibilities in a disad last hold look like. Like there's just so much knowledge that gets built up
Yeah.
just by playing and having fun experiencing the game.
Yeah. I've definitely I've thought about this a lot. I was thinking about this all the other day. I wanted to soft launch this idea to you of why it's interesting to play sixes. And I think it's like chess at the same time, or like this idea that you can kind of distill like there's only four classes that really get played in sixes.
Hmm.
In the same way, there's only six types of pieces on the chessboard. And it's like these very simple atomic, you know, very simple. This, there's a guy who runs fast and shoots a shotgun. There's a guy with a straight line projectile. There's a guy with arcing projectiles, and there's a healer. It's like
Hmm.
those simple concepts, connect together and like balloon into very complex ideas, and it's really
Yeah.
beautiful in my eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I'd say it's very different from chess to me just because winning is actually fun and
Yeah,
losing
yeah,
is
yeah.
also like kind of fun sometimes. Whereas I don't know, chess gets me so angry
Chess is
when I play
obviously
it
a
online.
boring, or I mean, just less interesting
Yeah, it's for
way to.
nerds, unlike TF2, which is for cool people. Um,
But
yeah,
people love chess in the same way people love TF2. So no
true.
hate.
Um, yeah, we may as well actually talk about the baby faces. Why the hate? I don't think we were hating on it. I think it's cool to see people using it, but we definitely have this perception that it is a downgrade to the stock scattergun, which I think that's true.
Yeah,
I have to actually pull up and look at its stats real quick, because it only has like 4 shots, I believe, which is already just like that's a big downside. As a scout, all those 6 shots are very valuable to have.
indeed.
The boost is very cool. I like that mechanic a lot,
Yeah,
but you have to build it by hitting people, meaning that you're generally starting fights very slow and very easy to hit. Um, is it really only minus 10% speed, or is that 10% total? I'm I thought it
that's
for
yeah.
sure it
I
was
have
more than
no idea.
10%.
It definitely
10%
feels like
seems,
more than 10%.
yeah. But in general, like as scout, your movement is your primary means of avoiding damage and also your primary means of survival because um, you have the least base health out of any class with 125. So it's very easy for you to die. Um, Basically, every combat class in the game can two-shot you, whether that be stickies, pipes, rockets, or scattergun. You can get two-shot by pretty much anything. So being able to move and dodge shots is very important. Also, um, the boost getting reduced by a double jump is kind of a big deal as well because double jumps are one of Scout's main ways to traverse the map.
Yeah,
And a Scout on high ground double jump, like jumping off of a ledge to avoid splash and then double jumping back onto the ledge to maintain high ground. Like it's all very core parts of how a Scout plays. So being slower and easier to hit makes you so much more vulnerable, and having to give up some of your kind of core survival methods like your speed and your double jump in order to do that is generally just a worse option.
yeah, yeah. I tend to agree. I feel like the double jump reducing boost is like is the biggest downside of the weapon, genuinely, because it's so
Actually,
Jumping is just essential
the
as
boost
scout. There's,
reduced on hit kind of sucks too, because you eat one rocket and then suddenly you're just slow, and
I
then
mean, the way it is now is not so bad. Like, I think do damage to gain boost, take damage, reduce boost, but it's that jump that really kills you because you can never leave the ground. It leaves you so susceptible to every type of splash. And demo is already, kind of your big weakness, so like him being able to just lock down areas and you can't jump over the stickies, like it's just brutal for you. You can't really traverse against demo because he can just lock the ground down, I
yeah,
feel.
it can be tough. All right.